what are you trying to train for should determine how you're going to eat. So it's like, okay, well, I want to absolutely maximize every ounce of muscle growth. Okay, well, you need protein, you need micronutrients, you need food that make you feel good so you can sleep well and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, build a diet based around that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm really struggling to get my carbohydrates in. Okay, what is the easiest way for you to get them in? I tried every bag of lollies under the sun. Red frogs, I could eat a bag of red frogs while I trained and it not affect my digestive system. I didn't have a crash. I don't know why. I felt fine eating that. Yeah. Eating a bag of Chicos, I got like just yuck. I feel gross. I feel shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, you need to find those extra calories. Sure, maybe you can't eat fucking 2 kilos of rice a day. Yeah. Well, but if you feel okay after that, stick with that. And then it just became a staple. Yeah. Like, well, that's this time, that's this time, that's this time. Yeah. And then same for the deficit. It's like, okay, well, what foods make you satiated? What foods make you feel good? What foods improve your brain power?
Performance,
so you're not like feeling like shit all day and like you're fucking failing at life just because you're in a deficit.
Yeah.
I remember breaking
What's going to increase the likelihood of success?
Yeah. I remember sitting down with a client. She was like, fuck, I'm so hungry. I'm like, what are you eating? And it was like, fucking 2 Wheat Bix for breakfast and this and this. I was like, okay.
It's not good use of the calories.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you have, instead of having Wheat Bix, have yogurt and blueberries? It's like you can have twice as much. Yeah. You get twice as much satiety from them, half the amount of carbohydrates, and then you'll get to have more for lunch. It's like, oh, okay. And then within a week, it was like, oh, you feel better now.
Yeah. So when I was rummaging through all of our articles that we have, which are fucking heaps, I actually wrote one called Your Fat Loss Cheat Sheet. Yep. And there's actually highly effective strategies in there that we've spoken about today.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I was like, fucking wow. Like, I wrote that so long ago.
Yeah, we were writing those in jail time.
Oh, it was like, satiety index, time-restricted feeding, picking foods that, sit well, all of those things. I think if you categorize your foods based off your needs, the first layer is nourishment. So it's like, what does your body need? That's what I claim as nourishment, right? It's like providing for a purpose of basal function. So that's still protein, carbs, and fats and micronutrients, right? Because we need those things for nourishment. Yep. Then after that, it's like, is there an excess energy demand? Yep. So if that person is a highly active individual who's driving performance, maybe an extra bit of muscle tissue or just size in general for their sport or activity, there's going to be an excess supply of energy that needs to be met. They can get that from almost anywhere. Yeah. So the nourishment part of it is protein, carbohydrates, maybe from like starches and, kind of like whole grains, like just, more fibrous stuff to help support function. Yeah. And then your fats as well to like serve their purpose outside of energy supply. Yeah.
I've always, I talked about this years ago, man. Years ago that, like, as in before powerlifting, like the last photo shoot I did. Yeah. Was my diet, surplus, deficit, maintenance, the crux of it, the main 3 meal. Remember I used to have Chobani, blueberries, and a couple of squares of chocolate? My dessert for breakfast.
Cherries. You used to even had the cherries at one stage.
Yeah, I moved to blueberries after the cherries.
Yeah, the cherries fucking blew my mind.
Yeah, anyway. I might go back to that. It might solve my protein problem. It's just cold.
Yeah.
And it's fucking cold in Gisborne.
Cream or ice, bro.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so that core breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack was the same.
Yeah. Always. And that's how I generally eat.
So you want to get bigger? Eat more snacks around it. Yeah. Eat more.
Or just add stack on the meals as well.
Yeah. And then, so you want to get leaner? Eat less snacks. And so, like, the mentality now is actually going back to going, oh, yeah, that's how I used to get lean. Yeah. I used to just stop eating dessert.
Yeah. Yeah, I was sitting on the shitter the other day, and I actually was thinking about like
me,
compartmentalizing the diet. It's like if you compartmentalize your diet, you can not only compartmentalize the ingredients within the meal. So like I usually kind of encourage like 3 ingredient foods, like meals. So it's like protein, carb, fat. And then. If you can do that and then break down the meals themselves, not only do you have the ability to break down the composition of the meal and adjust that based off your goals, remove the carb, half it, remove the protein. You wouldn't do that, but you know what I mean? Yeah. You also have the ability to remove the meal.
Yeah.
So your time restricted feeding model is like, cool, well, why don't I maybe instead of removing the meal, I take a protein sparing modified fasted model, remove the carb and the fat, but keep the protein. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the day stays the same.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just push the feeding windows up and bring one down, and I could just have a protein at the end of the day too. So it's like all of a sudden you've got 3 proper meals and then a protein either side of it. So it's like, if anything, trying to compartmentalize your diet like that is a simple way of setting yourself up for success. It's still, you still have to lean into like the fundamentals of nutrition, calories, fucking protein, meal timing, and that if you're serious about getting your results. But it's like, a simple way of swapping in and out your food to make it fit your goals and schedule is exactly what you guys need to adopt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I subscribe to that 100%. And the more I become a gen pop, not athlete, like the more this stuff just like makes so much sense.
Yeah.
The stuff that we've been talking about forever, because it's like, this is what clients need to do.
Yeah.
Because they're not willing to track everything that goes in their face like I was for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Now I'm not. It's like, cool, how do I set up a healthy diet that makes me feel good?
I still think there's value in tracking absolutely everything you put in your mouth for a period of time, because 100%. You're able to do that now, and because I'm able to.
Skill set.
Like, I put my food back into. I tracked yesterday just to get an idea of.
Yeah.
So it's between 2,200 and 2,500.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm happy to sit here because I don't feel like shit. Mm-hmm. So, but then it's like, today I won't track. Yeah. I had the same breakfast. I'm going to eat the same lunch.
Yeah.
We're going to have a different dinner, which is like a variation of meat and 3 veg, really.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I know last night's dinner was way more calorie dense than tonight's. Mm-hmm. So if that fits, tonight will fit.
Yeah.
You know, but it's having those skills that you have to adopt by using that.
The time.
Yeah, like the post that we put up on Fit last night was like, don't make these nutrition mistakes. And like portion control was one of those.
Yeah.
So you have to adopt a system of portion control. If you do want to get in good shape, and if you want to get in exceptional shape, the micromanagement of that changes.
Yeah, I think every single person should track macros for a period of time.
I agree. 3 to 6 months, you know.
Took the word down my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's just like you get to understand like the lattes, the orange juices, the Powerades, like the couple of biscuits that you have in the tea room at work, like all of that shit can add up to a significant amount of food. Yeah. And then even on the weekend, it's like, it is so easy to consume between 500 and 1,000 calories 3 days in a row and offset a week's worth of dieting, or like not even offset it, just like nullify 75% of it to a point where your results are insignificant over that week.
Yep.
And that pisses you off, and then you get demotivated, and then you fucking, try something extreme and it doesn't work out, and the shit show just, continues. You know?
An example of the importance of the food awareness, you mentioned juice. Yeah. So my wife's like trying to, because I'm eating this way, she can't eat frozen meals every day.
Yeah.
Fuck, it does her head in.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like enough stuff to have the variety as well. So it's like it becomes challenging. She's prepping her own food and I'm eating my own food. We still eat together, but we kind of eat separate foods, but at the same time. So because I'm not influencing the meal selection, it's lacking in micronutrients.
Yeah.
Because she just fucking hates vegetables, and I just like force them into her. It's like, we're trying to have a baby, fucking eat it. So she's aware of that and like, okay, well, I need to start searching for more micronutrients, blah blah blah. So she's like, she had we got the V8 juice.
I was just about to say, you just make a juice. So you can even make one.
Yeah, we have a thermo.
Yeah.
So she bought that. She had it the other day, and like went to the bathroom straight away.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that worked really well. Like, obviously, the fiber from the juice. I was like, babe. She's like, what? I'm like, it's juice. There's no fiber in it.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, it's fruit, isn't it? I'm like, no, it's fruit.
It's been
juice. I pulled it out. It was like 0.2 grams of fiber per 100 ml. She was like,
it's got to be thick. It's got to be thick. You got to shake that baby for the fiber.
And she was like, oh, I'm like, it still has micronutrients in it, but like the fiber's still going to have to come somewhere else in your diet. She's like, oh, okay. So, and that's the shit that not tracking for long enough, you don't kind of know. Yeah. And even like for Amy, like she's tracked in the past and just forgot.
Yeah.
It's so learning how to read food labels and how to do all that shit through that process, that education around nutrition, so valuable for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I agree.